Hello, I am IceBeast and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. So it came to my attention that I wasn't necessarily doing a very good job of explaining everything that I was doing, so I'm going to try to explain a little more clearly the things that I am doing. The first thing I should say is that research is real important here, and I've been trying to research to get better rockets and better rocket controls. So things like this guy's a better solid rocket booster, this is a better liquid rocket booster. Liquid rockets use liquid fuel, solid rockets just use the fuel that they have, and that's about it. As for the what I was trying to say, as for things like trying to get better stability, you can have the launch stability enhancers, structural connectors, radial air intakes. There's one of these has the was it this one that has the reaction wheel that helps you stay upright? RCS thrusters, which help you adjust your in-flight strategy here. Little liquid fuel engines. So the way you get tech here, you can see what you've already constructed, but the way you get that is through science. You buy it through science. And the way you get science is by either doing missions, which is what I was doing here. So you can look at my active missions, test this chute. If I complete it, I get 4 science here. So missions are real good. The other thing that I can get, and the other way you can get missions is by doing those science reports that I was doing. The way you can get science is by doing science reports, or by taking science payloads up into space. So I could take this little science junior here, take him up to space, and then see what happens basically and get some science. Now I'm not going to do that quite yet because I want to just test the parachute. So we're going to load up our design, which should have been this little bad boy here, the autosave design. Now this guy couldn't quite get to the right altitude we needed, so what we're going to do is we're going to detach him. I'm going to add a stacked coupler, which, as I explained previously, is the one that allows you to go into the multiple stages of your rocket. So I'm going to add a small engine here, then I'm going to add a stacked coupler, and then the bigger engine. And so what's going on here is that when I launch this rocket will go first. I'm going to adjust my stages here for a second. So it goes, this is the first stage that fires, the second stage, last stage. So what we're going to do here is we're going to launch this first rocket. When it runs out, I'm going to use the space bar to use the stacked coupler here to separate these, and then I'm going to launch the second rocket. We're going to go up, and when that runs out, we're going to try to use the parachute. Let's just launch this bad boy. Just waiting to get to the launch pad. All right, so what we're going to do here is look at our contract here, which says we need to be flying. We need to be at this altitude and this speed to launch the parachute. So here's our stages. We're going to start by initiating stage 2, or the final stage. So here we go. Off we go into orbit, or into space, I should say. This is our fuel that we have. It is running down very quickly. Let's just look around, see what's going on. There's the Death Star. All right, so you see here, this stage has run out of fuel, so I'm going to eject it and immediately launch the second stage. So we're still flying. We're going too fast, but that's fine. Are we going to achieve the appropriate altitude? And the answer is no. In fact, we are nowhere near going to possibly achieve that. No, okay. So let's revert to the flight, revert to vehicle assembly, because that didn't work. And I'm going to, I know I tried this already once before, but we're going to try this one more time with the larger engine again. So let's try throwing down this larger engine on here again a second time. I still think this is not the right combo here, but we're going to try it out. I'm going to move the rocket back to this stage because we don't want it to launch with our parachute. We want it to launch after we get rid of the first rocket. So let's try this one more time. Just immediately going to launch here. Every time I take off, I love it, guys. I just love it every time. It makes me so excited. We want to look at our status here. So we got the right speed. We're going to end up going too fast, though, but that's okay. We need to get to 23,000 meters. Okay, something happened with our stability. Well, part of the problem was I didn't turn the stability on. So that is a mistake. This is definitely not going to work now, I don't think. Let's look at where our the apiapsis, which is the top of our flight, is, and it's coming down real quick though, which is unfortunate. So yeah, we're going to peak probably somewhere around 15,000, which is going to be way under what we need. So let's just revert the flight back to launch, because I think we can get this with the launch. Just by turning on the stability control, stability assist system or something like that. That keeps the ship hopefully from wobbling too much. We're going to find out here in a second. Here we go, going to space, looking at the moon, looking at the mountains or the islands, getting the second thing going. So yeah, we're going to once again look at our where this is going. So it's going way out. Now it's going to come back down as we slow down, because yep, see, now it's come back down. And the reason it's coming back down so much is because of air resistance, basically. But it's going to peak probably around 50,000, I'm guessing. Let's just time warp here real quick. Yeah, we're going to peak probably somewhere around 50,000. Maybe even higher. So this is going to be too high for us. So I'm actually going to go back to the original design I started with now. And the reason I'm doing this, we're going to go back to the little engine, is because I realized I forgot the stability control when we did this launch. And so this might be sufficient to accomplish our goal. Let's try this out one more time. So right now I just look like a giant idiot. Alright, so stability control on. Launch we go. I like this little pygmy rocket on top of the big rocket. It makes me laugh. Oh shit, we fucked up our stage. Can we adjust this right now? So I can adjust my stages in flight. That's good. That is good to know. Alright, let's get the next rocket going. This guy will run out of fuel very quickly. Was that enough to get us to the altitude we're going to need? I don't think so. We're never going to make it above 23,000. So let's revert the flight one more time. We're going to try one more thing, which seems pretty straightforward at this point, but we're going to create a third. All right, so I clicked off the screen again. Anyway, we're going to create a third stage here to try and get this to work out just right. Structural, the stacked decoupler to separate the stages. This is all sorts of screwed up. Alright, you go in that stage, you go in that stage. So you see this, it will be this engine, then this engine, then this engine. Let's try this one more time. Why are we so far up into space here? Here we go, turn on the stability assist. I feel like it shouldn't be this hard to test a goddamn parachute. Good old Jebediah. Now this little rocket is not particularly strong, so it's only going to provide us a little bit of acceleration. Then we'll get the same little bit of acceleration going here. But hopefully this is enough to get what we need to do here. We're at 36,000 and falling. We just need this to stay between 23 and 24,000. So we're gonna loop here, and it looks like we actually are gonna get it under 29,000 where our peak's gonna be. All right, so we're actually at the right speed and everything. So we're just gonna, we're going too slow. Gosh darn it, I missed my opportunity, but that's okay. We should accelerate enough to get back up there. I just need to be careful here not to miss it. We're in the right altitude range. We're about to be in the right speed range. It says it right there. We are. Let's throw out our parachute, and we've tested the system. Beautiful. Now let's hope that we actually make it safely back to Kerbal, the planet, sometimes referred to as Earth by me. So there's our parachute deployed way too high. But this will give us science, and that hopefully will be enough to get us maybe a bigger rocket, which will allow us to get into orbit. So that's what we're going to want to do. I'm hoping this will open. Open. Oh, it did open. Beautiful. And we will make it safely back to Kerbal. Beautiful. All right. So let's go to the Space Center. We're going to recover this bad boy. It's like right here. Beautiful. So now we're going to go to our science station and try to get better rockets. We have not enough science to do it, which is unfortunate. But that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to go to our launch pad. Or I mean our engineering station here. And we're going to completely demolish this rocket. And we're going to create a new rocket. And this rocket's going to have science. So we don't have this yet. Let's just get it. We're going to just throw it down right there. We're going to throw down a decoupler. So this is going to be our top section. Then we're going to put on some big ol' engines. Followed by another top section. Then we'll throw on another big ol' engine. Followed by another one of these. And another big old engine. And this is a fine layout. It just means that we have to hit space twice to launch. We're going to call this Science Craft. And we're going to just launch. Get some science. As always, I'm going to turn on the stability control. Now, this is a pretty long rocket, so it might start, you know, rotating and doing all sorts of crazy shit, but we'll find out. Here we go. Now, because this rocket is so heavy, it's not going to get nearly as much altitude on the first rocket as even or speed as even our last rocket did. So you see I had to do two things to get the rocket to effectively launch here. So we're not going to do the science yet, not until we have achieved more altitude. So what's our current expected altitude? Around 33,000. All right. I don't think we're going to make it into upper orbit, unfortunately. So we can get rid of this. That's fine. Where is this going to stick us out at? 118,000. Where are we actually going to get to? It looks like we'll get very close to 118,000. Cool. So this is good because this will bring us, we are in space now. So let's activate the materials bay. Do we have a transmitter on this? We don't. That's too bad. So if we transmit data. No, let's just keep the data and we'll get it by going home. So review data. What if I reset materials bay, review data? All right, so this looks good. What if we take a crew report? Keep data, that's fine. Keep data, that's fine. All right, and then let's go home. So we can go faster because we're in high orbit here. Now we can't go nearly as fast because we're on our way back down to Earth. We are re-entering the atmosphere. We're going to start seeing some heat. We're going real fast. We've turned over. Then we will deploy the chute. That should turn us back over. Help slow us down just a little bit due to atmospheric drag and this side being down. Where are we coming down? Not near the Space Center, which is over there. That's okay. That is A-okay. Our chute just deployed. Let's go up to speed 4. So we get down on the ground. Hopefully our science module survives. It did, and then we will go back to the Space Center and we're doing great. All is well. So we will recover you. We'll get some science. How much science? I didn't gain that much science. Why didn't I get the science from the thing? Interesting. I don't know why I didn't get the science from the space mission there. That's too bad. I'm going to launch another mission real quick. Actually going to try something here, but I want to put you on the Communitron. That's fine. Let's go back to the launch bay real quick. We're going to try something out here that might be a little gamey, but we'll see. We're going to observe materials bay. Keep data. Then we're going to review data, transmit data, transmit data. All right, we got 0.8 science. We didn't have enough energy here to fully do this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Space Center. And what we can do is we can just recover this craft. That gave... Wait, we didn't get enough science. We're so close to getting enough science. Let's try one more time. Maybe this will work again. Who knows? So let's observe materials bay. Let's transmit again. So see, we can only get about 30% done with the amount of data we get, but we got 0.8 science again. Hopefully that's enough. Let's go back to the Space Center. How much science do we have now? 20.7. Okay. Recover the ship. This means that I can finally spend my science on newer, more badass rockets. So we're going to do that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to build a new rocket. So you are completely going to get discarded. So what I want to do is purchase this bad boy. And I also want to purchase the fuel tank for it. So because I'm pretty sure this is going to be too heavy for the landing cone here, we're going to give you the... Yeah, this bad boy. This is a gimbaled engine. That's good. It has less thrust, I think. That's okay. That was not what I wanted to do. I want to purchase this guy too. What I wanted to do is throw down a pair of fuel bays. And then the gimbaled engine. All right, cool. So the gimbaled means that it can pivot, which will make it easier to maneuver and steer and stuff like that. Then we're going to put on another stack decoupler. The reason I put a stack decoupler up here was so that I think this is going to be too heavy when we try to land, and it's going to come down too quickly, so I want to separate this off so my dude survives. So here we have our main rocket. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw on radial decouplers here. I'm going to use the symmetry tool that allows me to put them around symmetrically. I think 3 is good. So as you can see, I'm putting 3 of these on. We're just going to throw them right there. And we'll throw 3 of these bad boys on. Cool. And then I'm going to add some fins. I'm actually going to use the better wing here. Just throw these on here to maybe provide a little bit of stability. Come on, come on. Alright, so that should give us maybe a little bit of stability. Who knows? This will be not the science craft. This is to orbit. I wanted to put a question mark, but I couldn't. We're just going to go launch right now. This episode will run a few seconds long, but we'll know pretty quick here if we're going to make it to orbit or not. Let's turn on our stability assist control right here. We have our stages all correctly set up, and off we go. Here we go. We're accelerating pretty good. We still have plenty of fuel. Oh, we're turning. We're turning. We're doing a little somersault. That's not good. Let's just try going straight back to the launch one more time. We're going to do nothing different. We're going to try one more time. Here we go. Back to launch. We're going. We're going up. We're going up. Stability control is on. Oh, we're tilting again. We're tilting again. Alright, that's not good. Let's go back to the vehicle assembly bay. We're going to pull off the wings. We're just going to launch no wings, guys. Who knows? This might even be better. All right, let's try one more time. Stability assist on. Here we go. We are going up. No wings. We haven't started tilting yet, as far as I can tell. That doesn't mean we won't start tilting as soon as I go to the next stage, but that's okay. So after these rockets pop off, the central rocket will fire, and then after that we have this liquid rocket with these 2 fuel tanks here. Alright, so now we get our next rocket. We're still going up, pretty straight. We're at the 10,000 foot mark. We got plenty of fuel, which is good. Now the question is, can we start a turn? Can we start a 90-degree turn? We're going to find out. I am pushing the nose hard to the right, but it's not working. Alright, so now we have our liquid rocket. We're going to... No, I don't want to go full throttle. Alright guys, so I apparently pressed the shift key 5 times and enabled sticky keys, which I didn't even know was still a thing, and it drove me insane, but that crashed both the game and my recording. So we're going to try this launch one more time. Let's do it. The launch was going pretty well when I failed, so the reason I was pressing the shift key was shift allows you to accelerate or decelerate. Shift allows you to accelerate and control allows you to decelerate the liquid engine. And I was trying to do a turn, an orbital turn. Alright, let's try this one more time here. We're gonna pop off this bad boy here in a second and launch our next engines. So we've detached our side engines and enabled our other engines to engage. We're going real fast though, which is nice and good. We've gained a lot of altitude without having to do any crazy maneuvers yet. So we're about to enable our liquid engine. So our liquid engine, as I said, was gimbaled, which allows it to turn pretty easily. So I'm going to turn off stability assist here, and we're going to try to get this along the 90-degree horizon to about a 45-degree angle. Now we're going to relock stability assist. And now let's see how that's affecting our orbit. Our orbit is widening. Let's look at our propellant. This is our liquid fuel propellant. We're going to go up to full throttle on our liquid fuel. We need this to be we need a little bit of fuel left over if we're going to possibly come out of this. Alright, we're going to stop now. And what we're going to do is we're going to orient fully towards the horizon. Lock. Beautiful. So when we get up to here, I'm going to launch my engines again. And that should give us the most expansion of our orbit. The largest expansion of our orbit. So we're almost there. What I want to do is, again, get this tilted back towards the horizon. Right there, right on the horizon. And then I'm going to throttle up to full. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, full throttle. You see our orbit's now expanding in both directions. Now, unfortunately, we just don't have quite enough fuel. I think I burned a little too much fuel when we were doing our turn to make it, but we're pretty darn close. I'm going to see if I can revert this flight. I can revert to launch, but I can't revert to construction. That's okay, though. We're going to end the episode here, so thank you guys very much for watching. It was a little long, but we're basically ready to make it to space. I think with a slightly smarter controlled turn, we'll be fine. I think I just spent a little too much time curving out at the beginning, but that's okay. We'll be fine. With that being said, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.